Welcome to Bob's Radio Cafeteria. You can find me facebook.com/Bob's Radio Cafeteria. And my guest this time is Cameron Donnelly from Machinist and Rebel Scum. Cameron, are you there?
I'm here, man.
Cool. Before we start, why don't you tell people where they can find you on the internet or wherever else they can find you?
Okay, in Rebel Scum, one of the bands that I'm in is Rebel Scum AL at .bandcamp.com or facebook.com/Rebel Scum AL for Alabama. And then Machinist, the other band I'm in, it's Machinist GA, and it's Facebook, Bandcamp. They have a Twitter, a Tumblr. I think that's all you get. They're way more fancy. They have all the fancy stuff.
Now, how long did you form both bands, or did you join both bands?
Rebel Scum is my band. I formed that, and then Machinist, I joined it about 8 months ago now, 8 or 9 months ago. They've been a band for 4 or 5 years now, though.
Now, Rebel Scum is a duo. It's you and one other person. Do you want to tell the people who the other person is in the band?
Oh, yeah, DJ Fizzle. He's the drummer.
And you play bass, vocals, trumpet, it says. Do you actually play trumpet, too?
Oh, yeah. On some of the new recordings, I play trumpet. I do bass. I play guitar. When we play live, I play guitar, and I run a splitter. So I play guitar, and I do bass tones out of it as well.
Oh, cool. So now you're on tour right now, and where are you calling from right now?
We're in Amarillo, Texas, outside of Taco Bell.
Do you have a show tonight in Amarillo?
Last night was in Amarillo. Today we're going to Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Where are you going to be playing there?
This place called the Jam Spot. It's like a small DIY venue.
Oh, cool. Do you want to tell the people the rest, like where else you're playing after that?
The next day after that, oh man, it's a month-long tour.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, But the next day after that is Flagstaff, and then in Arizona, and then the next 3 days after that are the LA area. They were playing Long Beach, and somewhere in LA, and then Pasadena, like right outside LA. Playing a lot, like all of Southern California, then all the way up the West Coast, and then heading back home to the East Coast.
Yeah, and you're coming here to the Bay Area. You said you're playing in a house show in Vallejo possibly, and also looking for another show in the Oakland, San Francisco Bay Area.
Yeah, on the 14th. I think we got that worked out at the Stork Club.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they have the day open. I'm waiting for a 100% confirmation email, but they said they have the day open, so I think that's.
I'm glad that worked out. I'm glad you contacted them. Yeah, that's a great event. That'll be great. It'll be cool to be able to see you play. Now, when you play, who goes on? Which goes first, Rebel Scum and then Machinist, or do you switch it up? How does that work out?
Usually we switch it up. It just kind of depends. We're not super strict about that. You know, I mean, I'm in both bands, and both bands are, we're not like fighting for it every day or anything. Right. Sometimes Rebel Scum will go first. Sometimes Machinist will go first. We don't really, it's not like a set order or anything. We just kind of do whatever.
Now, with your voice, how's your voice been holding? Since you have to do both bands, how's your voice been holding up on tour?
Well, I'm used to it by now. So my voice it stays pretty solid most days. But usually when we start a long tour like this, the first day or two, my voice will start to crack, like whenever I'm talking, like outside of doing the vocals. But it kind of works itself out, and I'll just get used to it.
Now, who's the Machinist? Now, tell us people who.
Oh yeah, there's Jeff Hill. He's the vocalist. Jeremy McGuire is the drummer, and Matt Marshall is the guitarist. Then I play bass in that band and do some of the backup vocals.
Now, is that are they from Alabama, like Rebel Scum as well? Or are they? Oh
no, they're actually all from Georgia. Machinist is based out of Valdosta, Georgia. It's just a couple hours east of Alabama, where I live at.
How did you hook up with them?
Well, I've known Jeff, the vocalist, for 9 years, almost 10 years, just playing music with him, and we're only a few hours apart, so like if his band would go on tour, they would come play in Dothan, Alabama, where I'm from, or vice versa, like whatever band I was in would go play in his town, and I've just known him forever. Like we've all been both of us have been in like a million bands, so we just known each other forever. And then he started this band, and eventually they I've been on a couple of tours with them. I played guitar with them on one tour. I played bass with them on another tour, just filling in for them. And then eventually they lost the bassist, and so I took the spot since I already knew all the songs and stuff.
Oh, it worked out. They must have loved that. That must have been perfect. It's like they didn't really have to teach you anything. It's just like you came right out and like, okay, that's it. Come on in. I'm in practice.
Exactly.
And then it's like, okay, we're gonna go. So how did the tour come about? Was it like Rebel Scum was going on tour, or Machinist was going on tour, and then like, or did you say, okay, since Machinist is going on tour, can I bring Rebel Scum with me? How did that work?
It was the last one he said. It was that's usually how it goes. Machinist will do usually one like big full U.S. tour every summer, and last summer Rebel Scum did the tour with them as well, out to California and back, and this time, I mean, since I'm in both bands already, it just makes sense. It's easier, and it's easier for Rebel Scum to go on tour because we're only a two-piece. We don't take up that much room, and I'm already going to be there anyway, so really just adding one extra person to the van makes it a lot easier. And not a lot of bands can do a month-long tour like where we're from.
No.
Yeah.
No, and that I give you complete kudos for, because that, I mean, it's very hard, especially in this day and age with the gas prices and everything. So it's really cool. Now, I wanted to ask you, did you play on all three of the Machinist albums? First of all, I got to say, I love the album title Meth Teeth. Anyone that has an album called Meth Teeth it's just incredible. Did you play on all three of those albums? And those three albums are Meth Teeth, Birthright, and Blacklist.
No, I actually, all three of those were recorded before I joined the band. I am on the new record that just came out. This is what this tour is like, the record release for Machinist. It's the name of the record is Pro Negative, and I played bass and did some of the vocals on that record.
Now, let me ask you a question. One of the things when your sister Corey first, told me about you playing the band and all that, and I listened to the music, the first thing I noticed, which I really like, I like how short the songs are. Now, a lot of people are, used to the 2 minutes or 3 minutes thing, because my band's the same way. We like to keep we're completely different than you guys, but we still like to keep our songs around the 1 minute range, because it's like, hey, if you like it so much, they'll leave them wanting more. Now, let me ask you a question. I guess when I see you guys, if you get the Stork Club show, I guess I'll see that. But for people that are going to see Rebel Scum and Machinist, how long are your sets? Are they like 5 minute long sets? Or?
Well, Rebel Scum is definitely, there was a point in time where we were playing 5 minute long sets, but right now, Rebel Scum, we do about 10 to 12 minutes as our set. I don't really like to talk a lot when I'm on stage, so we just blow through the songs pretty quickly too. So usually, and we play like Rebel Scum plays 10 songs in about 10 minutes.
That's amazing. I mean, then, that's even incredible for the Ramones. I mean, I thought the Ramones could go through something like that.
Yeah, I mean, we have a couple of songs that are in our set that are like less than 30 seconds. Rebel Scum does, and Machinist plays about 16 songs. Or 15 songs. I think we're playing 15 on this tour. Most of them are from the new record too, but a lot of them are really short, and it's just they just have so many songs. Machinist has been a band for so much longer. Right. There's so many more songs to choose from. So, but still, their set is I think we timed it around before tour was like 21 minutes, 22 minutes, if that.
That's perfect. That because you don't want any more than that. In my opinion, it's like, especially when local bands or whatever start playing more than 15, 20 minutes, it's like enough. Like it's enough. Yeah. It's perfect.
Yeah, so we played with a smaller band a few nights ago in Louisiana, and they played for an hour and a half.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. I think they probably had at least 15 or 16 songs, but they were all like 4 minutes long.
Oh my God! It's like, dude, keep it simple, keep it short, leave them wanting more. Oh my God!
Exactly.
Oh. Now I wanted to ask you, get into Rebel Scum, because which one do you feel more akin to? Probably more Rebel. I mean, obviously you have allegiance to Machinist, but you're closer to Rebel Scum because that is your band, correct?
Yeah. Rebel Scum is kind of my baby. Like the drummer DJ, he's just kind of like, he doesn't really care. Like he's just kind of there. He loves touring, and me and him have been friends for a while and stuff. But like I do like I'm in the church. I do all that stuff for Rebel Scum, so it's kind of like my baby, and I do all the lyrics and everything. So I feel more like it's more like my thing, like it's like all my art,
Now tell us a little bit about the lyrical, the way you do lyrics. Now, which comes first, the lyrics, the title, or the music? Or does it switch up?
Usually the title is last, because usually I'm really bad at trying to name things.
Mm-hmm.
So that's usually something that comes like the day before I have to send out the artwork for the record or whatever. But
right.
the lyrics always, or almost always, come first, because it's I've been ever since I was like 13 or 14. I've just been really into like lyrical content of bands, and
right.
so I'm almost nonstop in like writing lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I'll just think of stuff and I'll write it down on a piece of paper or in my phone or whatever. And so it's usually the lyrics are already there, and I write a song and I just like pick out some lyrics that I've already written before and put them in the song.
Yeah, because some of the titles, I really love some of the one of the titles I really love is, and actually this is like, because if you look at if you go to the band rebelscumal.bandcamp.com, and you can, all their songs are there, and of course all the songs are like 40 seconds, 30 seconds, which I absolutely love. And then the last song is, this is like Stairway to Heaven or Inagata Davida to you guys, because this thing's like, this is like your 10-minute piece, but it's 2 minutes and 32 seconds. What about that? Trash built high will soon topple over. Great title. Where did that come from, may I ask?
Oh, that's I write a lot of songs about I'm fairly anti-capitalist as a person, and so I write a lot of songs about that. And it's and that's what that song is just about. Capitalism in general, and how I really have like a bad taste in my mouth for capitalism. And and honestly, as we were recording that song, I was just I was sitting there like doing the lyrics for it, and that line just popped into my head while I was like recording the lyrics for it. And I was like, oh, that's awesome, because to me, that's what like the government and capitalism in general is, just a pile of trash, and eventually it's going to fall over.
Kind of like the fall of Rome, almost in a way.
Exactly. That's actually our new EP, Rebel Scum EP that we just got done recording. Is coming out later on this year sometime. It's called Let Rome Fall, and it's like
cool.
the same. It's the same
and what's
thing.
the longest song on that album? Is it?
We have even longer than the 2:30. We have a song that's 4.5 minutes long on that song. On that right there.
That can't be happening. No, 4 minutes. No, I sincerely, I really love the length. I really like short songs. So to me, it's like, if you don't like it, then it's like, okay, well, the next one. Now, I want to add, the brand new song came out from Machinist called Dad Bro, and the cool thing is there was lyrics with it. Did you write those lyrics?
No, Jeff Hill, the vocalist, he writes most of those lyrics. I do help him out from time to time, but that was something that he kind of wanted to do. I had more of a hand in writing the actual music for it.
Oh, cool.
It's a very like short Rebel Scummy type song.
It is, and very short, very short. And do you know what that song is all about? Since that's the brand new, I guess you could say it's the single. What that song is all about?
Yeah. We were actually just talking one day just about the institutionalized like patriarchy that is instilled in our culture. And I think we were talking about how I think we had read some article about some dude that got off on some rape charge from this girl or whatever, because he was like super rich and he had a bunch of lawyers and she didn't have any money or whatever, so it was easy for him to get off of that rape charge. And that's kind of what that song is about. It's just about like rich white assholes like basically doing whatever they want and running the world into the ground and being crappy people.
Yeah, exactly. Like you see that with athletes and you see that with politicians too. They seem to always get away with, even though they're completely guilty. Well, that's cool. I'm glad to see that gets represented. Now, I want to ask you a little bit about you. How old were you when you got into playing music? What was your first instrument? All that stuff.
Ooh, I think the first instrument I played was guitar, but I didn't know how to play it. I just owned a guitar. And a friend of mine owned a guitar amp, and then another friend of mine owned a drum set. So we just started a band. I think I was like 14 or 15 when I started that band. And it was a grindcore band, so I've kind of been doing it forever.
What was the name of that band?
It had a lot of names. we would change the name all the time. We were basically just a joke, but for the longest time we were called Pedophile Reptile.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that name would go too far.
No.
But
we were a bunch of dumb kids.
Yeah, exactly. You wanted to shock people. What are some of your influences, and what were some of your influences growing up, and then what are some of your, I guess, influences, and what do you listen to now? But let's start first with what were your influences?
When I was a kid, they basically stayed the same too. But I remember when I was really young, I was like 14 or 15. I went to the local FYE store in Alabama where I lived at, and I bought a Offspring Smash.
Yep.
And that kind of like set me on the road to becoming a punk. And then shortly after that, I bought "Give Me Convenience or Give Me Death" by the Dead Kennedys.
Dead Kennedys. Yep.
Yeah.
And band, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and those have been two of my favorite bands ever since then. And but in the grindcore realm, like a few years after that, I started hearing about like Napalm Death and Pig Destroyer and weird bands like The Locust or like Holy Molar and stuff like that. And so that stuff kind of got me into like the whole writing really short songs and just being super political. And so that's something that's always wanted me. That's what I always think about whenever I start a band, is like bands like The Locust or Napalm Death or stuff like that. Like Horse the Band was also one of my favorite bands when I was younger. Just weird, just be weird, be happy, have fun, make music that you're proud of type stuff.
Yeah. Because inevitably, in the end, it's like you're not going to make any money, so you just might as well just do it for the fun. I mean, like a lot of local bands, they think they're going to make money, and it's like, more importantly, is just, in my opinion, is just getting the name out there. Just get the name out there, get the music out there, because you're not going to make money. If you want to make money, start a cover band and move to Vegas. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I think I've had that same exact conversation with a lot of people that are in my scene, or a lot of bands that I've met over the years.
Yeah.
They're always like, yeah, man, like I think we're going to get signed to Warner Brothers Records or something. And I was like, no, you're not, dude. No one cares about you.
No,
just
unless you're related to somebody. You got to be related to somebody, or it's all that. Now, wrapping up here, so you're in Amarillo right now, and you're outside Taco Bell, and you're heading towards Albuquerque. And so hopefully, when you get to the San Francisco Bay Area, you get to play. You will do that house show in Vallejo, where the Zodiac Killer's from, by the way.
I did not know that.
Yeah, the guy that was the main accuser, the main person they thought was the Zodiac Killer, and where some of the murders was in Vallejo. So maybe you can think about that. And then hopefully you play the Stork Club, because it'll be good. Corey and I can go, and I'm sure your dad or whatever, everyone else will go, and it's a great place. Looking forward towards this, after the tour, what's in store with Machinist and Rebel Scum? I mean, I know you said Rebel Scum has a new EP coming out, and did you say Machinist has a new album coming out? I'm sorry, I don't remember.
Yeah, Machinist, the new album for Machinist, Pro Negative, comes out actually I think tomorrow or the next day, like officially. But we've had it on this tour, and we've been selling it the past couple of days. But but it officially comes out, I think, tomorrow.
That's fantastic. So the Albuquerque show will be the almost kind of like the album release party show, kind of.
Yeah.
And then Rebel Scum, what's in the future for Rebel Scum after the EP? More just playing around locally in Alabama and stuff like that?
Probably touring. Rebel Scum, we don't really. Alabama doesn't necessarily like us. We play like a weird style of music that's not. I guess it's accepted in most places around where we live at, so we just tour a lot.
Yeah.
That's basically all we do. Same thing with Machinist. They're always on the road. Like this whole year, since December, I think the longest that I've been at home was like 10 days.
Wow.
Because I was like constantly on the road with either one of the bands or both the bands at the same time. Like, it's just been busy.
Well, it's good because you're out there, you're young, you're out there doing it, and you're having fun with it, and and then you realize that, I don't like to generalize, but I mean, I'm sure, where you live in Alabama is not exactly the mecca of hardcore or whatever. Like, I hope that doesn't come off as an insult, because it's not intended to. But
no, I mean, it definitely isn't. The scene in Alabama is very small. The entire state is fairly small scenes. Yeah, and most of them are not very like punk or hardcore friendly. They're more like most of those people think they're going to become rock stars, so people are more into that type of like music.
But there is a small little scene, though, so that must be kind of cool when you do come across those little scenes in little areas like that.
Yeah, I love playing small towns. Like when we do play small towns, most of the time it's actually really cool. Even when we play Dothan, it's mostly just our friends coming out. Like we do. I mean, I've ran shows in Dothan ever since I was like 16 or something at different venues. I've run shows out of my house for a long time, and so there's a scene that exists, but it's just we try not to play there as much as, like, we don't like to play there all the time.
Got it. But it's still kind of cool to see. I mean, you said it's just your friends, but it's kind of cool because I remember years ago being in a small town in Michigan, and these kids had seen me, and they saw that I looked odd and didn't look like I should be from there. And then they told me about this little punk show they were doing. And at the time, I was doing an underground comic. And so they invited me, but it was really cool. It was at a 4-H fair, and it was such a cool thing because I was like, here's this tiny little town in Michigan, and here's these like maybe 50 to 60 kids that, you know, come to this place, and they're putting on this punk show, and they were like, it was just really cool. So I can imagine maybe it's something like that. But
yeah, exactly.
So continue on here. One last thing. Why don't you tell people again where they can find Rebel Scum and Machinist on the web or anywhere?
Okay. Yeah, rebelscumal.bandcamp.com. That's all on music. And then facebook.com/rebelscumal. You can find other random things that we post. And Machinist is machinistga.bandcamp.com. Then Facebook at machinistga, and then Twitter is machinistga, and I think Tumblr is also machinistga. And I'm pretty sure that's the only 4 that they have. I don't know. I don't run any of this stuff for Machinist, but I'm pretty sure that's the only 4 they have.
Yeah, just put them in there, folks. You'll find them. Rebel Scum. That name comes from Star Wars, correct?
Yeah, it does.
Definitely. Oh, I like the name because it has a double meaning. It has a Star Wars thing, and then you think Rebel, you always think of the South, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I like
People tend to say that more than they say the Star Wars thing, and whenever we thought about the name, we never even thought that it would be like because we're from the South. Like we were just like, yeah, Star Wars is awesome. Let's just name our band after that. Would be a cool name. And then since we've started, like people were always like, oh, it's because you guys are from the South.
Hey, here's a quick last question. Since it's such a hot topic right now, what's the idea of the whole Confederate flag? What's your thoughts on that? On the whole Confederate flag, you know, because that's like the hot topic now, running across America.
Oh, yeah. I mean, honestly, they should have taken it down a long time ago. It's ridiculous that it still flies like everywhere, and it's just one of those things for people to argue about. People just love arguing about.
They do.
Insignificant things, but it's obviously an important thing, and it's obviously something that has affected millions of people negatively, which is exactly why it makes no sense for it to even be up. But of course, people have to make it a huge deal, like it's like the end of the world if they're going to take down their flag or whatever. It's just a flag. It's a piece of cloth. It doesn't mean, you know, like you should, like if it's like legitimately, like, I mean, it's essentially the same thing as the swastika. If somebody's flying the swastika flag in Germany, people will be pissed, and I understand that. But you shouldn't be mad that someone is like mad that it's a symbol of oppression. Period. Like, so there's no argument against taking it down.
I think if we're going to take down the Confederate flag, we should take down the American flag, because if any flag has seen more oppression, is that flag, especially on Native Americans. I mean, think about Native Americans and what they go through and what they still go through to this day on reservations. So if you want to talk about a flag that represents oppression, I think you should take down the American flag, but that's just my opinion.
I'm very anti-nationalist in general, so all flags are dumb to me. Like, there's no reason for them. They don't exist for an actual purpose except to, control people and keep them in line,
Yeah, and it's a piece of cloth, and it's like, even though you take the cloth away, you still have the people and their ideas, so it doesn't really change anything. I also think this Confederate flag thing is a red herring, that there's something else going on, and they're trying to divert attention away from something else that's going on, but who knows? Hopefully not, but we shall see. Cameron, thank you so much for being on Bob's Radio Cafeteria. Is there any shout-outs you want to give? Oh, no problem. Thank you so much. Any shout-outs you want to give before I wrap this?
Yeah, I'll give a shout out to my dad, Steve, and my mom, Teresa, for putting up with me and letting me be in stupid bands forever.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Cameron. And send my regards to Rebel Scum and Machinist, and good luck on the rest of the tour, and see you when you come to the Bay Area.
Yeah, man.
Thank you so much. This is Bob's Radio Cafeteria. Again, you can find me Facebook.com/Bob's. I was going to say Bob's Video Cafeteria because I have that too. But Bob's Facebook.com/Bob's Radio Cafeteria. Thank you, Cameron. Goodbye.
Goodbye.